Hey, what's going on, guys? So I was rolling through my comments a little while ago, and someone named Zaby kind of left a comment saying, hey, we should do a collaboration video. I didn't know who Zaby was. Of course, I don't really know who anybody is, but I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Come to find out, is the coolest kid I've ever met. This guy started a small YouTube channel, kind of like my own. He's just getting off the ground. And you know what? I don't know. I was like, let's do it. Let's go ahead and your idea, whatever you want to do, let's make this video happen. And this guy, man, so he wants to do a video on basically weird video game ports. And I was like, I'm all in. That sounds like a lot of fun. And I'll tell you what, if you watch my channel for a while, I wing it with like everything. This guy did some legit research. Like I said, he's an awesome kid. I really enjoyed working with him on this video. So without further ado, let's talk about 10 really weird video game ports.
Hello everybody, I'm Zaby, and with none other than Wolf, otherwise known as Blips and Pips, we're going to be looking at the top 10 weirdest video game ports, possibly of all time. Alright, so here we have Grand Theft Auto for the Game Boy Color. Released back in 1999, this version of Grand Theft Auto was developed by Tarantula Studios, and they did a pretty good job at it too. It was converted pixel by pixel from the original PC version, and compared to the original PC version, this version on the Game Boy Color suffers from many graphical and audio limits, making many players see it as a downgrade. Also, it was heavily censored by Nintendo's requests to appeal to a much younger and wider audience, making the game rated T, which is pretty uncommon for a Grand Theft Auto game.
Hey, so this one's kind of cheating because I did a video on this before, but I have to talk about two of the games from that video. I'm going to kind of retouch here. The first one is Jet Grind Radio on the Game Boy Advance. I'm sorry. This game is just like so horrible. If you haven't watched that video, then I'm just going to kind of recap it now. The controls are just wild. They're like some kind of weird tank controls that do not work in an action skating game. Not at all, anyway. And then also, the weird compressed music, very short loops. They kind of try to throw the cutscenes in. I have no idea why they tried to make this for the Game Boy Advance. It just seems like a very big missed opportunity. When, it's like you knew it couldn't handle it, and there wasn't really a good way to transpose it. They should have done something different, but I don't know. I was very vocal in my previous video on this particular game about how much I did not like it, but it's just a very weird port.
Next up is Myst for the Nintendo DS. Myst was an adventure puzzle game for PC and Mac, released way back in 1993. But nobody really likes the DS version because of poor video and audio. Also, the controls were pretty bad too. And they tried to put a $30 price tag on a game whose heyday passed over 20 years ago. And there was also another port of Myst released for the 3DS, but it suffers from pretty much the exact same problems.
Yeah, my second one is going to be another port from that other video I had about with bad ports, and I swear I'm not going to be dunking on many more games for my half of this video, but I will say that Donkey Kong Country is one of my favorite games of all time, and they did it so dirty on the Game Boy Color. I mean, I get it, they tried their best, but I mean, the music is shoddy, the controls are very laggy. I know they could only do so much with the color portion of color, but I'd rather it have just been in black and white, to be honest. That said, I don't know. There's much better ports. The Game Boy Advance version obviously is 1-to-1, but this is another game that really just missed the mark, and another, very odd port that maybe should have been in the oven a little while longer.
Alright, so now we have a super weird one. It's Donkey Kong for the Atari 2600. Now, I know it's very weird to see a classic Nintendo game on an eventual competitor's system, but it makes sense considering that it was before Nintendo got super successful. Also, it was available on the Intellivision and the ColecoVision, which just adds to the absolute massive pile of weirdness.
And now for a change of pace from me, let's talk about a game that's very cool. Halo on the Atari 2600. I remember hearing about this like way back when it was made, and I know the cartridges were like a limited print or something. But obviously this is just a big fan thing. But how cool is it that someone took like a game as cool and as vast as Halo and put it on the Atari 2600? Very wild, in my opinion. I mean, it's cool. It's very true to like, if Halo existed back then, it would definitely look like this, but still very creative, very out of the box. And this is one that is something that kind of like I feel a certain kind of way about, in the sense that like it's just a passion project. I love passion projects, and you could tell that some love and creativity went into this one.
Alright, next up we have Call of Duty on the Nokia N-Gage. Developer Infinity Ward decided to remake Call of Duty on the N-Gage. Even though it was labeled as a port, this version of Call of Duty has lots of new levels, but due to the failure of the Nokia N-Gage, this port remains in the shadows.
On the list of games that should never exist, Virtua Fighter on the Sega Genesis. Virtua Fighter is known for being a 3D fighting game. Virtua Fighter. I mean, like, everyone knew that, you know, when you think Virtua Fighter, you think Sega Saturn flagship, and they even had I guess a half decent port on the 32X. But this isn't Virtua Fighter at all. This is just like a 2D Street Fighter game. It's not bad, but it misses the whole point. It really just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why this game was ever made. I don't know why it exists. But hey, I don't know. It, as a Street Fighter clone, it's really not terrible. Once again, it's just a kind of a weird thing that's like, you know, if I made a 007 game, but it was a cooking simulator rather than a first-person shooter. It's not what it's supposed to be. But hey, I don't know. Once again, just a very odd port.
Now we have by far the weirdest game port I have ever seen. We have Mario Bros, the arcade game, on the Atari 2600. And it was a similar story to Donkey Kong, although this is considered to be the worst version of the Mario Bros arcade game. It is pretty graphically enhanced for the 2600 though. There could only be a max of 2 enemies on screen, unfortunately, so this game is so easy a baby could win.
And here I go gushing again. I'm sorry, but I'm just a sucker for passion projects, and the fact that someone remade all of Final Fantasy VII on the NES, like, is amazing to me. NES Final Fantasy VII Demake is so cool. I mean, you know, it's it's kind of funny, right? Because we have the original game, which was iconic, you know, big, massive thing. Most people's first RPG, holds a very special place in their hearts. Remake came out, you know, on the last gen consoles, and the part 2 will be coming out, God, at some point. But, you know, it brought everyone to, like, this is what they remember. This is what it felt like to them. And then you have the Demake, which is so charming and so cool. It's like classic turn-based. I mean, it's literally like you're playing Final Fantasy 1, but with a Final Fantasy 7 skin. I personally love this thing. This is the coolest thing. You know, kudos to the people who made this. You know, this is a work of art, in my opinion. And I think more really cool games should do this. Just imagine an NES version of like Legend of Dragoon. You know, I don't know. But before you catch me going too much, this is my final and probably most loved weird port.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Blips and Pips channel and the Zaby channel, because they're both the best channels in the world.
Hey, you heard the man. Subscribe to him, subscribe to me. That easy. But hey, you know, it was really fun. Zaby, thanks for reaching out. This has been a really good experience. This is a fun video to make. It's been fun working with you. You're awesome. Like I said, you did way more research than I've ever done on any videos, which he's kind of given me a goal to maybe try a little harder. But hey, you guys watching this video, check out his channel, you know, give him some love. He's obviously like one of the coolest people I've met in the YouTube world. But once again, this has been a fun video, and you know, what do you guys think? Are there any weird ports that maybe he and I missed? Because we just kind of gave a quick little brief of ones that we kind of you know, knew off the top of our heads, but I'd be interested to see what other weird ports are out there. Hey, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Please subscribe to Zaby. If not both of us, that'd be really cool. But hey, as always, Take it easy.